Well, it's clearly obvious that hill farming and crofting in Scotland is physically and financially at the margin. But we shouldn't fall into the trap of measuring the value of hill farming and crofting simply by kilos of beef, kilos of lamb and production. We've got to look at everything else that they contribute in terms of managing the environment and particularly the social dimension of keeping people in the glens. I've always had a concern about sheep going off the hills, but that's changed. It's now about the people to look after the sheep that is of real concern. And unless we deliver real viability for these farms and crofts, both in terms of their returns from the market, driving down their costs and the right future support package, then I'm afraid it will be very challenging indeed to maintain the fabric of the west coast of Scotland.
Farmers are the people who work the land and they produce the benefits for nature. One of the things that I'm really going to argue strongly for is that farmers need to be properly rewarded for the environmental management and benefits in the future. And that's certainly something that we share with NFUS and their policies, that there's, and a lot of other commentators, that greater support should be given to environmental management and to the farmers that are delivering that. I think it's so important that farmers and environmentalists work together and speaking with a united voice. What we all want is strong farming, active farmers delivering benefits for nature that people can enjoy. So there's a really strong shared agenda, and I think we'll be much more successful if we argue together about that.
The three key areas are our stock, our sport and our own performance. Our support is undoubtedly going to change, and how we take that support and how we can justify that support has got to be there. I mean, I think I have no fear that we are doing an excellent environmental job on the whole, but how do you translate that into receiving money for, as they say, public goods? In Norway, the system is of course very different, but their take on the EBVs and recording is that no tup gets used unless it's got a good set of figures behind it, and that has definitely taken them forward. No question out about it. Their sheep are very much considered environmental animals, and there are payments for their sheep going up to graze the mountains in the summertime. But their performance recording has taken them leaps and bounds forward in what weight of lamb they can produce in the short time that the grazing is available on the hills.
Well, I think in the hill lambs have a product which is very different from other lambs. So I think there's potential, there's markets for it. But again, it needs to be finished animals. It needs to be ready for this market. So we can talk about the environment, but I think as well, the size of the lamb fit very nicely with some of the market in UK, but also market on the export. So there's definitely a future. And I would like to take the example of Iceland, who produce lamb which are quite small as well. And I will say that a prime lamb across the world, they will be pretty on the top. And people are looking for their lamb.